starts right now.
This is the biggest crowd I've seen in 20 years.
It's been awesome. We love 4th of July.
The crowds are back for the 4th.
Really busy start to finish.
And local businesses are ready.
Finally fully staffed. We getting applications on a daily basis.
It was amazing, really, getting to bring everyone together.
Plus, how to not break the bank for this year's 4th of July cookout.
Brand loyalty may be something that's going to have to be left by the wayside.
Oh my God, it's got that!
It sounded like a string of firecrackers going off inside of a big metal trash bin.
At least 6 killed in a 4th of July parade in Illinois. Police still looking for the suspect.
I can't believe it. It's horrible.
During what is meant to be a time of celebration, now the setting of yet another mass tragedy here in the U.S. This latest shooting happened in Highland Park, Illinois, where at least 6 people were killed, dozens of others wounded during an early morning 4th of July parade. And police have identified a person of interest. They are now looking for a 22-year-old white male. Thank you so much for joining us at 5 on this 4th of July. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Jessica Porter. For the very latest on this mass shooting, let's get to Denver 7's Jason Grenauer, who joins us live in our newsroom.
And Jason, police say everyone from parade spectators to bystanders were targeted by that shooter.
Yeah, and that the gunman fired from a rooftop. The latest numbers from officials in Illinois, 6 dead, 24 others injured. Authorities are now looking for a 22-year-old man named Robert E. Crimo III as a person of interest in this latest tragedy in America at a parade for our nation's birthday. On what was supposed to be a day of family celebration, horror.
On a day that we came together to celebrate community and freedom, we're instead mourning the tragic loss of life and struggling with the terror that was brought upon us.
Terrifying moments as shots were fired, sending crowds scrambling for safety.
I just remember seeing like smoke on the ground. We were literally close by to where it all happened. I remember hearing shootings.
Police say the suspect was firing into the crowd from the top of a building. This woman says her best friend's sister was feet away from meeting up with them when she was shot.
I'm sorry, for her sister, and I'm here for her, and I hope that she gets better.
This man says he ran with his son to safety and saw victims wounded and bleeding, an officer cradling a child.
I just saw an officer carrying him, and then he was just knocked out. So I pray that he fainted.
Police say a rifle has been recovered and that the suspect is a white male between 18 and 20 years old. Now, that shooting suspect still on the run tonight. Authorities have asked people in that area to continue to shelter in place as that manhunt continues. President Biden released a statement saying he was shocked by the senseless gun violence on Independence Day. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
Another shooting in America. Thank you, Jason. And once we have an update on that person of interest police are searching for, we will update you both on air and on thedenverchannel.com.
Here in Colorado, we have our eyes on the roads as people travel across our state for their 4th of July holiday plans. This is a live look at I-70 heading back into the Denver metro from the mountains. Looking good so far. We do have one crew headed to a 2-car crash that happened about 45 minutes ago in Wheat Ridge. We know that one male driver was killed and a female passenger was injured. And police have right now closed I-70 between Ward Road and Kipling as they investigate. And we do have team coverage on this busy 4th of July.
Let's first get to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. Mike, the sun is doing its best to push through the clouds this afternoon.
It's done a pretty good job. In fact, our high reached into the mid-90s today before some clouds built up and some scattered thunderstorms. There is a flash flood watch in effect central Colorado out toward the Glenwood Canyon area because of the impact of any rain on burn scars in that area. Along the Front Range, we've had some scattered storms, one that brought a pretty good shower to Fort Collins about an hour ago. And there are a few storms to the southwest of Denver. They're pretty widely scattered. This is what the clouds have looked like over the Denver skyline in the last 2 hours. I think about 90% of our area will have dry conditions coming up as we head into the evening hours for the fireworks displays that will be held. 102 right now at Ray, 93 Denver, Greeley, 92 degrees at Fort Collins. That's our fireworks forecast. It'll be warm and cloudy with a few storms, but overall a very pleasant evening coming our way.
Mike, thank you very much. Now, you likely noticed a higher grocery bill when you did your 4th of July barbecue shopping over the weekend. The American Farm Bureau says the average cost of a 4th of July cookout was $69.68 this year, and that's up roughly $10 from last year. Denver 7's Megan Lopez is taking an in-depth look at which food prices are rising and what you can do to cut costs.
The 4th of July means breaking out the barbecue tongs for many families. It means a lot of guests and a lot of food. But this year for shoppers, it also means
they're going to see their grocery bills go significantly higher.
And there's a lot of reasons for that, like supply chain disruptions, drought, the cost of feed and fertilizer going up, the war in Ukraine, COVID, and yes, gas prices.
Diesel prices for farms and ranches, diesel to get food from the farm to the processing plant, to the manufacturer, and finally to the grocery store is significantly higher.
What all that means is beef prices that are up 36%, chicken is up 33%, even potato salad is up 19%, though there are some bright spots.
Average pint of strawberries is down a few percent as it was compared to last year. We've increased a significant amount of milk that we've produced.
Cheese costs have also dropped, but even for non-food products,
especially for household supplies, personal toiletries, things like that are going up anywhere from 10 to 20%, which is pretty heart-stopping.
Laura Daly is the guru of good deals.
They still will send you an email and say,
she manages Mile High on the Cheap, a website aimed at helping consumers save money.
Always join your store's loyalty program. King Supers or Safeway, anything so that you get that discounted price just by walking in the door.
Laura says to look out for coupons, but warns that there are fewer of them these days. Watching for sales, paying attention to newspaper inserts, and checking the clearance areas of stores are always good ideas.
Maybe you're going to have to go to multiple stores. I know that's really hard because gas is so expensive, so we try to consolidate our shopping trips.
And with price increases, you might have to compromise on your favorite products.
Yeah, brand loyalty may be something that's going to have to be left by the wayside.
Another thing to pay attention to, something called shrinkflation, where the product's quantity and price might look the same but are not.
I bought this, and after I got home, I thought, oh, it looks a little weird, and it's $22. That's because I didn't follow my own advice, which was to look at it from the side. This is shrinkflation at its finest. It normally comes in a 32-ounce bottle. They've now reduced the size of the bottle.
So always check the price per unit and the amount included before buying.
This one has 60 of those pods, and this one has 72. I know it's kind of a drag to go and spend a lot of time in the store, but you really need to take stock these days.
Because Laura says a little legwork can go a long way in saving you money as prices keep going up. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
Sounds more like a lot of legwork. Thank you, Megan. And if you're celebrating tonight with fireworks, no, they are banned in many cities in Colorado. This is a look at the damage from improperly disposed fireworks in Highlands Ranch. The garage fire was accidentally sparked last night after fireworks were placed inside a plastic trash can. The family was able to get out safely and no citations were issued. To see a full list of places where you can safely watch the fireworks tonight in Colorado, head to this article up right now on thedenverchannel.com. As people from all over descend on our mountain towns this holiday weekend, there were concerns of staffing shortages and if businesses would be able to keep up.
Well, Denver 7's Patrick Perez went to Breckenridge today to find out how businesses are doing this holiday weekend.
A 4th of July celebration in the town of Breckenridge.
It's been awesome. We love 4th of July in Breckenridge.
This is the biggest crowd I've seen in 20 years, other than COVID.
Hundreds of people coming out to enjoy the sights and sounds of Main Street, even as the town's tourism office warns of significant staffing shortages.
Well, we have been putting the message out there to adjust expectations for guests, and that really gives our frontline workers the opportunity to exceed those expectations.
But despite that messaging, many of the business owners we spoke with will tell you they're thriving like never before.
We're actually, knock on wood, there's no wood around here except for my head, but yeah, we're good.
Smyrny Kane, owner of the Mother Loaded Tavern, says for the first time since the pandemic, her restaurant is fully staffed.
I don't know where they're coming from. They're coming out of the woodwork that we getting applications on a daily basis.
But this doesn't erase the reality many of these workers are facing, a lack of access to affordable housing.
I've got at least 3 of my staff are living out of their cars, which is great in the summer. It's great camping, but when the snow flies, we're going to have another thing that we're going to have to deal with.
Down at Mountain Goats Clothing Company, owner Pete Meltzer and his wife are the store's only employees. And while he hasn't had a problem with staffing, he says most of his friends with businesses in town have.
There's not enough people to do the jobs that it needs to support the amount of tourism here. The housing shortages in places like this, compounded with COVID and what people are having to pay now, is just left a struggle.
Whatever shortages may still exist don't seem to be making an impact, according to tourists.
We have seen lines, but it's moving pretty fast, and we got a table today on the 4th of July really fast for lunch, which was great.
If the shortages aren't keeping people away, the high gas prices and the cost of travel is, as both Schmurny and Pete say, they've had smaller crowds this 4th of July compared to last year.
Everything's a little bit more expensive, so we're not seeing as busy, but we're pretty close.
I did speak with several businesses who were a little short on staff. They were too busy to go on camera, as you can imagine, but they tell me things are slowly improving here. They're just not fully staffed just yet. In Breckenridge, Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
We're ecstatic with the turnout. We're ecstatic with the fact that everybody seemed to have had a good time. We're very, very happy.
Keeping the 4th of July celebrations going. We'll show you how Colorado towns are celebrating the holiday today.
We'll do it bigger and better next time.
Prices are going up for just about everything, including pet food.
We'll introduce you to our Denver 7 everyday hero, making sure our furry friends don't go hungry.
Our goal is just to help them over the hump so that they can keep this animal that they've probably had for 12 years.